Great. All right, I'll share my screen. Great. Here we go. All right, hopefully everyone can see my slides now. So today I'm going to talk about some of the new models of entrepreneurial education that we're using here at the University of Michigan. In particular, I really want to focus on, what our goal was. And our goal was not necessarily to launch new businesses. Our goal was to launch really great careers for our students, and in the process, create a better world for us. So let me go forward. And I really want to distinguish between these two things. One is entrepreneurship, which is the founding of new businesses to create new ideas and new ventures, versus the entrepreneurial mindset. And in my center within the College of Engineering, we have chosen to really focus on the entrepreneurial mindset that then creates the opportunity for entrepreneurship. So today, the program I'm going to talk about is really about instilling that entrepreneurial mindset in our students, and then also providing an on-ramp for them into really innovative companies. Because what we find is our students, they know how to find the General Motors, they know how to find Google, they know how to find Facebook. They do not know how to find that really amazing Series B or Series C company that's doing amazing work in a field that they care about. And so how can we help them do that? Right? So this is how we think about the entrepreneurial mindset. It's this very broad bucket of professional skills and mindset that allows someone to identify and tackle and address problems and make an impact. And what we have found through our research and our literature is that here are the 6 behaviors that really, in our mind, we're trying to instill in our students: the ability to identify opportunities, leverage new technologies and new capabilities, the ability and willingness to experiment, get things wrong, try them again, get things wrong again, try it again, build relationships, because as a solo person, you can do very little, manage risk and think through that, and also perseverance. I think anyone who's actually worked with entrepreneurs realizes how important perseverance is when you care about something and want to see it through. Okay, so why do we need the entrepreneurial mindset? Why are these programs important? Well, as a globe, we have some serious challenges facing us in the next 10 years, right? Mobility. Mobility is going to be dramatically changed with both robotics and autonomous technologies becoming widely available and deployed. The climate, I think I don't need to spend much time on that. We all are going to have climate challenges. Health, aging populations, we need to provide quality, accessible, and affordable care, right? I think in particularly the US, we cannot continue on the trajectory we are in terms of how much we spend per capita on healthcare. And then security. As these technologies become more ubiquitous and the computing power continues to go up, how do we keep the world safe? These bad actors can get access to this technology as easily as we can. So how do we keep ourselves safe in these new environments? Because, and all 4 of these really have massive implications for society and the common good. And that's really the mission of our College of Engineering. Okay, I do want to make the point that as we were thinking about building these new educational experiences for students, we ran across 2 things. I sit within the College of Engineering, but I realized 2 things. One, startups by themselves will not be able to tackle these problems, right? These problems are too complicated. There are too many stakeholders for a small startup on its own to really take on some of these issues. The second thing is it won't be solved by technology alone. So we're trying to develop not only a transdisciplinary approach, right? We're trying to bring together technology, policy, society, economics, and the environment. We're also trying to bring in a trans-organizational approach, right? Where it's going to be startups as well as government players. Universities have their role as well, and also the government in terms of setting policies. So how do we bring all those things together? Okay. So to do that, we launched 2 different what we're calling tech labs. One is what we call Tech Lab at M-City, and that's really focused on the mobility space. And we now have a sister program in climate change called Tech Lab Climate Change. And I'm going to talk a lot about the climate change one, but essentially it is a company in residence program. We're really trying to bring these, actually they're usually later stage startups, under the university's wing, so that we can provide facilities, research, student teams is the one I'm going to talk about today, but also they get to access M-City in one case, in climate change, we have several labs that can help there, and really let them use the university's resources. In addition, use the university's network. We have large consortia of companies that work with us on a daily basis. How can we make connections between these startups and other large players that are interested in what they're doing? So really try to be a good facilitator. Okay, so let's just break it down in terms of two of the players. What do the students do? Well, the students have 2 sequenced 3 credit hour courses that really present the technological landscape, the policy landscape, and what different companies are doing in this space. There's direct mentorship from these leading edge startups, and really they're getting their hands dirty on a real project that the companies care about. What do the startups get? They get access to test facilities in the U of M Research Committee. They get a 4 to 6 student team for a year. And by the way, we custom build the team depending on the project. So if the project requires business skills, chemical engineering, maybe some economics, a policy person, we actually try to pull those students from all over campus together to work on the project. And of course, as I mentioned, they get access to our larger industrial partners through our U of M consortia. So in the climate change space, we're actually partnering with the U of M Global CO2 Initiative. And really the vision of that center is to look for ways of reducing atmospheric CO2 by 4 gigatons a year by capturing that CO2 either before it's released or when it's released, and then turn it into marketable products. We call it carbon negative, dollar positive, right? We're trying to use the power of the market to really drive us toward a carbon neutral or carbon negative economy. So that's what that group is doing. And so through that group, we get access to a lot of interesting both startup and corporate players. The pilot, which we're just finishing up this year, involved 2 companies, LanzaTech, which some of you may be familiar. They actually do have some plants in Europe. And basically they take either flue gas or solid municipal waste to create hydrogen, CO, and CO2. And then through their biological process, they can turn it into ethanol or other fuels or other chemicals. So that's one company. And then the other company was very different. It's called Skybaron. This is basically a consumer platform that is trying to get CO2-based products, consumer products, out in the market. And so they have things like a watch and a pen. And our students were really trying to figure out what is the next product that they should launch. Our students did a bunch of different analysis, and they're going to they're continuing to explore what a CO2-based phone case actually might look like. There are several different colleges involved, lots of undergraduates and graduates. And then for this upcoming year, starting in the winter, oh, by the way, when I said it's a 2-semester sequence, what we do is we actually recruit students in the fall, right? Because they're on campus. Well, usually they're on campus. And then we can, select them. They start their first class in the winter. Then we let them do a summer experience wherever they want to go. And oftentimes it's internship at the startup companies. And then they come back for a fall experience to continue and finish up their learning and finish their projects. Now, this year, upcoming starting in this winter, we're going to have 5 companies. LanzaTech and Skybaron are going to continue, which is great. When a company comes back, you must have done something right. And then we're going to add 3 other companies. Grudential, Savante, and Carbon Free Chemicals are going to be our new companies this year.
Just 2 minutes left.
Okay, great. Well, this is my last slide, so we're there. Okay. Great. And so the other thing we've noticed is that it does shade toward older students. Originally, we had freshmen through PhD all in one group. It's really hard for students in that freshman, sophomore to really contribute to the projects. So we're really focusing on juniors to master's level students in the program now. The engineers come from a variety of disciplines that read on the project. And we typically also have a lot of economics, business, even art and design students on the project. So it's a very multidisciplinary, transdisciplinary group that participates in our courses. And that is the new model. So with that, if there are any additional time, I can take questions or I can save them for the roundtable.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. It's perfect on time.
Yeah, great.
I don't know if like the